Have you ever had a time, and if you have, do you remember the first time that you thought to yourself, damn, I'm old?
Yeah, like 2 days ago when I drank all that vodka and I woke up in the morning and I was actually hungover and I didn't just like get up and go about my day. I got up and I was like, I had to force myself to eat something and I like can't just sit in bed all day and do nothing.
And how old are you?
22.
Have you ever had a moment where you thought to yourself, damn, I'm old? And if so, do you remember the first time?
My first time.
The first time?
Damn, I'm old. I think that was probably more recently that I went through the damn, I'm old.
Definitely recently.
You asked me this right before my birthday.
Yes, I have. I don't know that I remember the first time, but
It's a recurring theme.
That's a tough question right there, but the answer is yes.
No. Well, I don't feel old.
Not really.
no.
I haven't gotten. I'm 68, but I don't feel 68. So I haven't gotten to that point yet.
You know, if I had a moment like that, it was only for a few seconds because I try not to focus on that.
I think it's just a mentality. You know, if you think you're old, then you're gonna feel old. But I don't feel old. I feel kind of like a kid still.
And it's weird because I felt like I've been 21 for the past 20 years.
I don't feel old. I mean, I still feel like we're 20, 21 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Working on 30 feels pretty up there.
Yeah.
But it's exciting at the same time.
I don't feel old yet. I was actually pretty excited to turn 30.
I think it was right around the time I was going to turn 30, and I started freaking out that I was old.
In my mind, it was like, it's a whole new decade. I get to start over again, and kind of redefine who I want to be.
I guess in your late 30s, when I wouldn't lose weight as much and started slowing down. Definitely in your 40s.
I thought I was old at 40, though. That was dumb.
I actually hadn't really thought that way until just kind of recently. When you start looking at the math and you're like, wow, I'm halfway through it already.
Probably, I didn't start feeling or thinking that till I probably hit 50.
But I think the first time it hit me that I was getting older, a lot of people say when they get into their 50s they feel that. I think when I hit 60, really, when I hit 60 and then I got close to 65, I said, whoa, this is not going back, this is going forward. When you hit 60 and you think 20 more years and I'll be 80. Oh my gosh, the time is really getting shorter, like your father said.
Now, I think it hit me, it's because there is no point of return at this point. Like, I can only move forward with adulthood.
Probably a couple weeks ago when we watched those videos that I found on my old high school phone, just seeing those videos of us, back in, what was it, 2010? We've always said that we've been friends for so many years, but like to see us on video 10, 11 years ago and just to see like, oh my God, like it's been that long and I'm already about to be 30 almost, in 3 years. It's just mind blowing to me. But
When I go play basketball, I was usually the young kid on the block. Like, people would be like, damn, man, how old are you? And I'd be like, yeah, I'm only like 21, And they'd be like, oh, what college you play and all this other stuff. But now if I go to the gym, I'm like, man, how old are you? And they're like, oh, 21. And I'm like, oh, fuck my life. I'm out here playing with like a bunch of college kids.
I'm not going to say this was the first time or anything, but I always go back to that story when me and Beto were getting a haircut. By the way, I'm like a year older, or excuse me, I'm a year younger than Beto. This is back when I had my mustache, back when I actually had hair. Getting a haircut, and the Silas actually asked me if he was my son. And I had some words of feelings about that. And oh, she felt so bad. I was so mad though. But that'll be a time I guess I felt a little old.
Yeah,
And
I start growing gray hairs. That was like the giveaway for me. It's like the gray hair start coming in. I'm like, damn.
I think it comes in phases. I think the first time, of course, is, when your hair starts to turn gray. That's, it starts there, and then, your skin starts to change. It starts to get a little wrinkly here and there,
But it's like the little things, like, oh, my skin's not the same, my hair's not the same.
You start to lose your your tone in your body, but just different things you notice every now and then.
I guess just seeing my siblings too getting older is like, man, that happened really fast. Like, it felt like it was not that long ago. We were 15 years old. Now we're really old.
I can't remember the first time that I really felt that way, but I think the situation where I've like really had that put into perspective is seeing my nieces grow up. And I have 4 nieces and 2 nephews now, and it feels like just yesterday it was just the 6 of us living in the house, and now there's a whole other side to this family, and it's crazy, and I think that makes me feel old, and it feels like time has flown by.
It was quite different, like when you were little, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was the youngest fucking mom in the class. I was so young, and I just thought I was it. And then by the time I had Tristan, I'm like, I'm the same age as all these other parents. That's weird.
I was coaching a couple years ago, and I don't know if this is a testament to me being old or my mom being young, but the other kids that I was coaching, their parents thought that me and my mom were married, which is just disgusting and wrong in all sorts of different ways. But it made me feel old, that's for sure.
Well, I've got grandkids. That's a kind of a waker-upper. Because they stick with you, and then you kind of can measure how much older you are by them.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest with you, when I actually when I had the foot fracture, because I'd had them before, but I toughed through it. But this last time, when I actually had to put a boot on my foot and walk around with it, I felt like horrible. I felt like those ladies I see at Walmart, and I make like, oh my God, I feel like they're such babies.
That probably pops across my head, on a daily basis. You look in the mirror and you say, man, where did that young handsome guy go? And you see all the gray, you see all the fat, and you're like, man, I'm old.
It's one of those, you look in the mirror and be like, it's part of life. Gotta embrace it and run with it. So
I don't try not to think of myself as old. Sometimes I look in the mirror and I say, oh, I don't know who you are anymore, but I am who I am.
Looking at myself in the mirror or on FaceTime or on Zoom now, you really realize how old you are. And also I'm just feeling it in my aches and stuff, because I'm normally very energetic and love to go and work out, but I'm just hurting all over now. So I think that's kind of recently in the last couple of years, as far as looking at myself in the mirror and seeing that I'm old, and now this year feeling it for sure.
I'm not afraid to get old. It's just the stuff that comes with it. Aching back and things like that.
I won't say I've had the moment of, damn, I'm old, but I've had the moment where it's like, damn, I'm getting older.
Okay.
And that was probably, recently when, I'm working and my hands just aren't as strong as they used to be, or my knees, or my back's hurting, that kind of stuff.
Every time I wake up, I have those moments lately. So yeah, definitely feel that way. Getting some wrist pain, some lower back pain, and let me tell you, kids, it ain't fun.
Pretty much when I wake up every day, it just gets harder and harder to get out of bed.
Or when you get up in the morning and you have to think before you move because stuff hurts. So it's a daily thing, my man. It's a daily thing.
Probably now, because I can tell the difference now that I have had my first son 20 years ago, and now that I have another son. I can tell, like, I'm old. I can feel the difference at night. So, staying up late.
I didn't so much think of myself as old, but I thought of myself as my time getting shorter.
It's more things like that are like, oh, is this gonna get worse? As time goes on, like, does this really happen?
I don't know if you kind of get over it or if it gets worse, or but I guess we'll find out.
Me and my manager were talking about this last week, that the Denver Broncos football team is one of the youngest football teams in the NFL currently, with an average age of 25. Like, what? Like, that's just mind-blowing to me, and that just makes me feel old, like an old man, and makes me really have a young life crisis, you know, where it's like, what am I doing? I could be doing so much. Yeah, so thanks for that question.